Good morning, laddies. My name is Chess, and welcome to the What If Zuko Became a Multiverse Tree. So before we get into it, the multiverse tree contains our entire multiverse. Basically, like, if we didn't have, like, Milky Way or the multiverse tree, everything would probably be fused together in one single planet, aka back to the original world before Earth. Yes, and yeah, it would be quite cool if so yeah, so basically I'm making the tree in this what if, the one that Zuko will transform into, way bigger. Like, bigger than, like, covering the planet, kind. And reaches all the way to, from Earth into the actual multiverse. And into the galaxy. Yeah, that's how big and wide it would be. So, yeah. And I'm also throwing in some new characters to it. So, and then this F, the quirkless can't be used for anything because they can't get a, like, to becoming cops or anything. Yeah, so Zuko was born quirkless, but not powerless. He has born with a rare power of a tree. This tree isn't like a normal tree. It's a so powerful tree that even the so Zuko, and I'm also throwing in Zumi. So, of course, when both of them went to a quirk doctor, the quirk doctor tells both of them that tells Zumi that she has a fine manipulation quirk. And the same thing what I did to him. Sorry, I had to do that to ya. So, Zuko, who was quirkless. So, what did they do after they did? They got rid of him. They basically dropped him off, gave him a gun, and pointed it right at his head. Or, yeah. It is getting dark. Sorry about that. So, yeah. When Zuko pulled the trigger, he died. And the family, or his mom and dad, left him as a true, or like after they left, a tree sprouted out, covering the entire world from all the sunlight. Yeah. lumberjacks hangs got called in to take care of this problem. As Zuko, they tried everything, nothing worked. They even tried their quirks on it. Their quirks didn't even affect it. He asked Endeavor to burn it. As when Endeavor threw the fire thing, a hand came out. Looks just like Endeavor's as he caught it. And spins it around in his fingertips and threw it right back, causing a massive heat wave in the, and so they had to live with it. But one day, a blind girl was walking around in the forest. Her parents didn't want her, or because she's blind. So she sat on a branch of a tree. But that branch led right up to to that multiverse tree. She sat down as she could hear Zuko as she turns to the tree and says, "I know that you're quirkless, but you don't need a tree, or you don't need a quirk to become what you are right now." As she pets the tree, she pets the tree, and basically the Zuko looks at her as she talks to him. As I'm trying to come up with a name for that blind girl, but I'm trying to think. And years have passed, and Zuko was actually, at this moment, he's at 15. Same age as her. So, so she and walked over to the root thing, or the one that's holds the top, this one right here, and she kissed him. As a tree. So basically she asked him to go on a date with her. As he accepts, but he needed a human host. So he created a doll. A female doll. Oh. And then, or actually, he created a doll that looks like him, but with like same hair color as hers. As he took control of it. Yeah. He basically went on a date with her. And she had some fun with her boyfriend. So, and she also, because she did have a quirk, but in order to use her quirk, she had to use senses, like hearing, smelling, and feeling to activate her quirk. Yeah. And yeah. So they go to UA. Zuku, who goes by the name, or actually no one knew who he was, as he goes by the different name of Drillo. So, yeah. Please wait for when I get back. Sorry about that. And, yeah. So now, let's continue. So, where was I? Well, so they were going on a date, and basically, yeah. So, and they go to, or actually, they went to UA. They did their thing. Because, yeah. She did have a quirk and all that stuff. I'm just trying to catch up where I left off. So, yeah. Basically, yeah, so he goes by, or actually Zuko goes by a name of Tremor. Yeah. So that's why, and yeah. But Zuko did have a quirk before. Yeah. So basically, everyone was like trying to get their stuff together. So when I'm skipping the ball throw, the heroes versus villains, because during the ball throw, everyone can't go high enough until Tremor comes up to the plate. He threw the ball so hard, the branches of his own head or trees starts opening up, and it broke through. Yeah, some of them are having like suspicious theories about him. Yeah, so like they can't and all do it. and his girlfriend and had, yeah, so she basically says, good job, boyfriend. And as they both like, or everyone like, dude, you're dating each other? Man, that's cool. And during the USJ, they all had their little fight thing. But Zuko, or Tremor, sorry. So Tremor ends up beating the Nomu by popping him in the head. It wasn't just a normal one. It was like, it's like, Bob, I win. No, it was, Bob, I win. Kind. Yeah. And you know who else showed up before her? Or actually, she had two sisters. One was her, she could just see fine, and one was her. And her parents, or their parents, didn't want her to get that eye surgery to help her with her seeing things. But yeah, she also had a quirk, illusion gate. Yeah. So basically, if she unwraps her, she's still, she's blind, but some people see her as blind, but she could just use her other senses. She's basically hiding her, illusions away. Yeah, so now they did all the things, and yeah, the Zuko created a new doll, or two new dolls. Technically it would be three, but yeah. So the thing is I'm new, so I'm woodsman. And friends call me that because of my wooden-like appearance. Yeah, and she introduces herself as Dolly and Krenjel. Yeah. So, I don't know if that was a Japanese name, but I'm just gonna, in this what if. Yeah. So, yeah. So basically, those three girls showed up, and yeah, Zuko had enough power to do that stuff. And I've also forgot to mention that he also was the one that is also copying everyone's quirks. So basically, all of the copied quirks are now flowing into him and turning into abilities, making him the first most powerfulest person in the entire world. And he also bonds with every alternate version of himself. Like in the last video that I did was about... I'm trying to... In the last video, I tried to be more her, like, because one of you said that, oh, how about make a what if Deku was in the dinosaur apocalypse? Yeah. So the dinosaur Zuko, who was also connected to Zuko of this universe. So yeah. Everyone, or all the alternate versions of himself, their powers, like their quirks, abilities, have now have been copied and turned into abilities and absorbed right into this what if universe. If that makes sense. Sorry if it doesn't. So now the sports festival, they as the blind girl, or let's say the brain dude against a blind girl. Oh, as when she used, or when she took off one of her, like, bandages and reveals that side of her face. And yeah, the brain dude was in a panic as he's running out of the stadium, even as she puts it back on. As, yeah, the tremor claps for her. As she turns and she smiles at him. Yeah. As his sister noticed that he's encouraging her daughter to do something. As Tremor says she has a quirk that, or reason why she's looks like she's blind, is because of illusion gate. As everyone like what do you mean? Well, the illusion gate allows a user to, when they have their eyes open, you see them as blind, but in reality, she isn't blind. But she's just covering her eyes. So that when she doesn't send your parents to the early dimension, like the goes crazy. Ah, I see. That's her quirk, right? Yes. Huh. how do you know this? Huh. I also know that Zuko, or Zumi's brother, Zuko, had a quirk, actually, too. As Zumi looks over, and she didn't tell them that she had a brother, because she forgot that she did have a brother. But then when he told her that he had a quirk, her, of the same thing as, yeah, as even people were like, okay, what was it? What was his, like, my brother's quirk? Fire manipulation. But now, I won't tell you the rest, but your brother might be the most powerfulest person. So, yeah. So then the other two people, or other three, like her, and her, are battling against Todoroki, Momo, and Dark Shadow. I know. As if you guess which one will be for those three, tell me in the comments below. So yes, she ends up battling against Todoroki. She battles against Momo. And she battles against Dark Shadow. As she used her own Dark Shadow, but it looks more like a doll, like Darkest Doll. Version. Yeah. As yeah. She ends up sitting right next to him. And like laying on his shoulder. As yeah. So then after the sports festival, now we go on to, I'm skipping the internship because Zuko actually used one of his dolls. Yeah, like that one. To actually, pierce right through Hero Killer Stains' chest with one single nail. As yeah. So he got the tree. He got the entire world. Like every priest, like was like worshipping it as their own hands. And, like, yeah. Zuko used to be a human that had ability, turned into a tree that turns into a man. So, yeah. So then, now, All for One wants to take it away, but it's a person, so, yeah. Everyone fails by trying to remove Zuko from his spot. As she ends up sitting right on his branch again, his leg, as she talks to him, a lot longer than a normal person, as, yeah, she could tell that he's in pain, and a lot, as she tells him that you're okay, Zuko. As Zumi, or not Zumi, Zumi's father, Asashi, said, wait, so you're saying Zuko is this tree, right? Yes. He's not just a normal person. He was born with a ability of multiverse tree. Basically, Zuko, see, his fire manipulation allows him to absorb the attacks of any fire-based attacks. As a echoey voice says, yes. And the one that you pulled, or you gave me a gun to shoot myself in the head. As they couldn't believe it. Zuko spoke the truth. Remember Dead Men Tell No Tales? Well, Zuko says it truthfully. Like, honest. So the Hasashi got arrested and got thrown behind bars because as Zuko, as they couldn't believe that Zuko was their god. And so she basically looks at him, as she says, how do you feel, Zuko? As he goes, or she could tell that he agrees. I'm doing good. As Zumi sits right in front of her brother, talking to him. Yeah. So then, the next day, the after the internship thing and the camp arc, Zuko, ends up saying, and so all of them were basically doing their training. She relaxes with her boyfriend, doll. That's Doll. Okay? So, yeah. Like how she is. Yeah. As the one of the pussycats is yelling at her for not, or what are you trying to do? Or actually she was doing her thing, like her mask. But the pussycat was yelling at the doll, as he just remembered the doll is connected to Zuko. No? So he asked Zuko what is he doing now? As the doll replied, I'm copying everyone's quirks at the same time. And yeah. So basically, yeah. Now Anthony, or no, so now I'm skipping the rest all the way to All Might versus All for One. All Might is about to die, but then because he was, as the All for One uses his beam attack, as a not one, not two, not three, but 4 dolls pop out of nowhere. And All Might knew who those 4 dolls are. It was her, and Zuko, or Tremor. As he got their major power boost. So they runs up to him, to All for One. And, yeah. He used, or actually, the laser attack didn't go through. And Zuko, used the special move, as a fist comes out of those branches. I tried to make the top ones, this part look like this part looked like his leaves. So his attack, yeah. All of the dolls, she did the finishing move, and yeah, right towards All for One's chest, and All for One died that fateful day. Because the special needle that her has was so enchanted that one of the enchants stops the user from using his or her quirk. So All for One died that fateful day. Yeah. So, and yeah. All for One's quirk, like immortality, is now cut off from All for One's body. As his body starts to disintegrate as a as a doll version of All for One came to existence. Like, it looked like All for One, but with like that. You see those like parts? Like doll parts on her? Yeah. She basically, yeah. So please wait for part 2.